Okay, so we're going to add a G shape, a C shape to the bottom of that B flat pattern and move it up. It's going to become an E flat pattern. So now for that G shape is 6/7 root. Okay, we got a problem here. Okay, for the 6/7 root is the G shape. Yeah, that's your B flat. Yeah, then we add the C shape. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Okay, G is the third of E flat. Here's your G shape. Here's your C shape in E flat. Little scale fragments. Okay, little scale fragments there. So we're going to start with a C shape and just play a normal C shape pattern. And by the way, I didn't realize this at first, but yeah, we're playing all diatonics here. Notice we've gone over to diatonics, or else we're just going to trip up with the shape fitting. So it's S2. It's an S2C in the key of E flat. So the S2E starts with the 3, 4, 5, right? Where are we at? Where are we at? We're up here. We're going to start with the C shape, S2C, 3, 4, 5. The third of E flat is G. Okay, so over here on the keyboard, you know, we've got a G here, right here. Okay, but in the key of, if we want it, this is why the numbers, you know, they're like versatile. It's just like a virtual keyboard, fretboard. It can be moved back and forth as you like. So you can call this, as long as I haven't put a note color there, you can just call it the third of E flat. It happens to be a white note, but it doesn't have to be. So right there, we're going to do our C pattern. We're just going to do our C pattern. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4, 5. But guess what? We're starting on a red note here. Okay? And so it's going to be in the key of E flat. So it's not going to be done in the key of C, black and white colors. Remember, the 4 and the 7 are just in inverse because we don't want to play them during pentatonic. But they're usually white keys. So this would be the key of C, you know, with these as white keys, and where the letters are the accidentals. All right, so it's better to go back to the chart. So we're not going to, you know, be looking too much at that. I'm just going to walk you through this. So it's E flat in the C shape. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, warp up 7 root 2, and then 3, 3, 4, 5. My top string doesn't want to play today. One thing about a string that's not right, don't play it twice unless maybe you take it up a little higher or something, or do something different to it, because it's going to play the same way, you know. So that's it, and that's in the key of E flat. So you just play that C pattern, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. That's an S2C, and then play an S3D, D shape, A shape, warped up E shape on top. Okay, and fifth of E shape is that augmented C shape, 3, 4, 5, aliasing there, half whole, half whole. So that's valuable on top sometimes. If you know you're coming out of that S3D, anytime you're coming out of an S3D, you're going to alias it. Anytime you're coming out of an S2C, you're going to alias it into that D. So the S2C goes C and then G. That G is aliased with D right there. And the top E is aliased with that C. Half whole, half whole, whole half, whole half. So it helps you get out of the pattern into the next one. You don't have to look at it. And that's the thing about guitar. It's how you look at what you're playing. that makes it fun and easy and makes sense. If something's easy, I always try to explain this to people that if it's easy, it doesn't mean you're lazy. You know, if it makes sense and it's easy, it means you can do it quickly. You can do it easily. It doesn't mean you're lazy. Because you can do a lot of easy things in a short period of time, which can be difficult in its own because the amount of easy things you're doing. Kind of like house cleaning. As a matter of fact, somebody offered me a job once when I was on the job, and he said, "This is easy. This is easy. Just get on the floor and scrape all this paint off of like a whole football field full of paint." I was like, "No, that's not easy. That's not easy. I don't want to do that job." Anyway, so we can continue on, and we could do the A flat. Okay, so remember E flat. The fourth of E flat is A flat. A flat has 1, 2, 3, 4 flats. So from that C shape, how do we find out where we are? Well, key of E flat, the C shape. The C shape starts 3, 4, 5. So the third of E flat is G. 3, 4, 5. Wow, my top string is really bumming me out. So now we're going to add to that C. We're going to add the fourth of that C, which is an E shape. So E shape is 7 root 2. Let's just stay on the same string. It seems like a safe place. Stay on the same string. So right there, here's our G. Here's our E flat, A flat. We're going to start with that E shape. So what are we going to play? What pattern diatonic are we going to play for E shape? Instead of just playing like, hey, here's an E shape pentatonic. We're going to do the E shape. We're going to do an S4E. Okay, now the S4E ends with a D shape, and then we just go and finish with an S3D. There's just a little pattern overlap there. There's pattern overlap. So it's S4E starting on the 7th. So it's, the E pattern is 7 root 2. So we get 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. That's the key of of A flat. Now we can do that E shaped A flat. Okay. Now incidentally, I have an A flat down here on my C. Why? Because if I move this up, okay, there's your C, your regular tuning C shape, see? Take it down 2 whole steps. Okay. All right, that's A flat, and if we add the A now, here's our E shape on was the bottom string, and we just move the pattern up, and we're going to replace the bottom string with the fourth of that E shape, which is the A shape. So how does that shape fit in? We had our remember the root of the chord was the A flat. So now we're going to have to make this become the 5-6 right here because of shape fitting. It was important that we did this because of shape fitting. So we end up with an A shape D flat there.